Hey there, I'm Ghost of the Noob, and I'm here to haunt you by drawing on your walls. Today we're creating characters based on color palettes. I got this idea from Paranoid Rat, so definitely check out their video. They currently have a Draw This in Your Style going on. It ends at the end of September. It's being held on Instagram and YouTube community posts. I drew this piece for it. If you like it, you can go like it on my social medias. Heart it, reblog it, I don't know. It's different from social media to social, and I'm on quite a few. But blink, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you know? But my self-promo out of the way, let's get into the character designs. The first color palette I picked consisted of beige, brown, black, green, and like a bright fuchsia pink. Looking at it, seeing the green and the pink, my brain immediately jumped to a Venus Flytrap character. And I didn't explore any other ideas. Maybe I should have, but I'm just here to have fun, and a Venus Flytrap character sounded fun. Honestly, this color palette was pretty easy for me to pull a character out of. The green and the pink will be used for whatever I turn into the Venus Flytrap characteristics. I can use the beige and the brown for skin tones, and the black can be the outfit, and I can intermingle those colors throughout. As I was drawing, I came up with some lore for this character. I've been doing a lot of world building for my OCs in my free time, and some of that world building was fleshing out species. One of those species being the Cyclops. I love making Cyclops characters. I have a bunch of them. Cyclops is not a new species, obviously. I did not come up with it. The concept of Cyclopses have existed since like 700 BC, okay? Not original. But I came up with some lore for the Cyclops in my own OC universe. Brief summary, they came from Earth's moon down to Earth, and they integrated with the people on Earth. On the moon, they had powers like levitation, invisibility, water manipulation, all sorts of things like that. But with this Venus Flytrap character, having living plants as their hair and tail, I felt was out of what I had in mind for the Cyclops species. So I was thinking how she could be a Cyclops still when she doesn't fit my Cyclops lore. And like the obvious answer here is just saying fuck it, we ball, and making her just a normal Cyclops anyway. But I wanted to come up with a better lore reason than she is just that way, you know? And I was thinking, oh, I don't know, maybe she was cursed by a witch. Or she was experimented on, I don't know. At this current moment, though, I decided she pissed off a witch somehow. Maybe she was being disrespectful. She's always been a Cyclops, but the witch cursed her, giving her Venus Flytrap hair and tail, making her always afraid that she'd hurt her friends and family because her hair and tail basically have a mind of their own, and they have sharp teeth, and sharp teeth hurt. This might change because the worlds are always morphing and changing. I'm never done cooking, okay? But that is the story as of right now. I decided to name her Diana because of the Diania red piranha Venus Flytrap. I wanted to give her any other name than Venus. It's so unoriginal. But if you think you have a better idea, tell me in the comments. State your case. I want to hear it. For Diana's actual design, I tried to use sharp corners as much as possible, like the bottom of her pants being ripped into sharp ends. But in a few places I didn't because I made her kind of bigger, so she's round in those spots. I'm not awesome with shape language, but that's okay. Nothing in this design is like world shattering. But I had fun anyway, and this design was basically for me, myself, and I. I used the lighter color to give her vitiligo. I did look up vitiligo to get an idea of the placement of it. I didn't do super deep research, so if anything is wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments. But that is all I have on Diana right now, so let's move on to the second color palette. The second palette has a dark and light purple, a blue, a Hatsune Miku cyan, and a kind of gross poopy green beige. I did have a little more of a struggle with this palette. My first design pass was this starry witch girl, which I quite liked, but the skin color was weird. I didn't like how much the skin color leaned green and gross. In a character design and mainly story lens, why would she be that color? But in the second pass, I thought about it a little more, and I was like, okay, This color is green and kind of dead looking. Zombies are kind of green and dead. Well, they are dead, but they're kind of green looking sometimes. Which worked for me. Solved my issue. But the clothing was kind of boring and looked a little bit like Trixie Lulamoon. So basically, I just redrew the first design with black hollow eyes, which, by the way, she's blind. Now I've explained my design process, let's talk about the lore. I do have a world where there are zombies, ghosts, and skeletons that were previously human, but I don't know if she fits in that world. Like, the world is kind of theatrical, but I don't know if, like, stereotypical witch costume. You know, I don't know if it's that theatrical. I just have so many random strands of lore, and I just don't know how to tie them together. I think I want her to be separate from that world, at least for now. I think she was bit by a baby zombie, so it didn't make her fully rot and decay, because they have little teeth that didn't do much. But maybe it just made her, like, a little soggy. She was born and raised a witch by her two dads. She's super into astronomy, if you can't tell by the stars all over her clothes. She's super interested in how the Cyclops species came down from the moon to Earth, and probably other lore in similar veins that I haven't made yet. But yeah, that's all I have on the zombie witch. I think I'm going to name her Esther, but I'm open to other suggestions. I'm not super set on it. But yeah, on to the third and final color palette for today's video. Guys, this goddamn palette. I was actually losing my mind. The first design I made was this goofy little fish guy, and I literally love them so much. They've become a separate OC from this. Win for them, lose for me. I didn't like the outfit, hated it, in fact. So goofy, in a bad way. At least for this drawing, I'm sure I could make it work somewhere else. But mainly, I hated the blue and green colors together. All I wanted to do the entire time was either, like, drop the green or drop the blue. Like, please, get them out of my sight. And then I tried another fish character, because I liked the fish idea. I was like, okay, maybe they could be cousins or something. I liked this design. The bones were okay. So instead of trying different designs, I just recolored this one. And guys, guess how well that worked? It didn't really. I just made like 9 crappy color combinations for this honestly kind of mid design. I once again tried a different design. This one was okay. It was uninspired though. Like, what is that really? But the orange skin made me think of like a tiger, because they have orange fur, you know? It's like, okay. I made her a furry. Please guys, forgive me. Also, please forgive me for adding a second orange. I know it's technically cheating, but please, I needed this, okay? I had a vision, and I needed this to happen with this design. I didn't have any visions except for the tiger. I just needed that second orange, okay? And also for this design, I gave her long ass teeth for like a saber-toothed tiger vibe. I don't know, sounded fun. I also gave her the jellyfish hairstyle as like an homage to her originally being a fish. For this drawing, I kind of gave her that one dress to impress pose. I don't love this drawing. I kind of prefer the original sketch design drawing, but I don't hate this drawing enough to redraw this piece, okay? For Diana, the Venus Flytrap girl, the first final drawing I drew for her, I hated, so I had to redraw it. I just had to. I think she's an artist who's like really into art history. Like, she paints in the Renaissance style. If you ask her literally anything, and you say literally anything, she's like, oh yeah, like that one painting? You guys can go crazy with name suggestions. I have no ideas. That's all I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you again. Farewell, traveler.